The first thing I wanted to build in Minecraft, MakeCode for Minecraft, was a fence. Why did I want a fence? Well, obviously, to hold all of those raining chickens. So I have built a little function that builds a fence. So let's first just take a look here at a fence. There's the fence. So now let's move out here a little way and let's build another fence. This time let's make it 10 blocks per side. Let's build it out of rocks. And oh, I'm sorry, that was sunflowers. Now, why did it build it way back here? Well, it's because it builds it at origin, and I did not reset origin. So, I'm sure you followed that. Let's go back here, and let's go back over here and restart the program so that origin will be reset. And then let's go back to this side and let's run, make it 12 blocks per side, and now we'll build it out of rocks. And there it is. Now notice that the player was actually flying, but the fence was built on the ground, which is what you would want. And that's because the building takes place not relative to the player, but relative to origin, which was a variable that was set early in the game. Now, let's have just a little bit of fun here. And let's go back over here and restart. Then we'll build a default one, which is, I think it's 5 per side, and it's built out of wood. There it is. Now let's build one that's 10 per side, and let's make it out of sunflowers. Now notice it replaced the one before. Now why was that? Well, because it always starts from this same place, origin, which is one above where the gold block is. Let's build one more. And we're going to make this one 12 per side. And we will build it from rocks. There. See how the sunflowers are just inside, and the ones on this side have been replaced because that side, which is pointing east, is always part of the fence. And the way the builder builds the fence is it turns east, it goes the number of blocks -1 to the east, then it goes the same distance to the south, and so on back to the beginning. Okay, let's look at the code. Okay, let's first look at the run. The run is pretty simple. It first says it's running, then notice there's num1 and num2 arguments to the chat command. Num1 is the number of blocks per side of the fence, and num2 becomes the fence block index, that is what type of block to build the fence from, and that is selected from this array, and our choices here are wooden fence, stone, and sunflowers. Now you can add to this array choices for the fence, and you don't have to change any other part of the code because we use variables everywhere rather than hard code the length of the array. Okay, then we call the set origin function, which sets the origin variable, which notice at the beginning was set to null so that it would be set, and it sets it only if it has not been previously set. Then we call the function make east pointer from origin, and that's what earlier we saw see if we can find one of those. See back here somewhere. Well, I would have to find a wooden fence. Oh, let's just make a wooden fence. Okay, let's restart. See that? Okay, now gold is under the origin, and the blue block is east of the origin. So that's a little miniature compass. So we know that we started building where the gold block is, and then we moved towards the blue block to the east, turned right, and turned right until we came back to the beginning. Okay, then we call the function builder fence. Here it is, builder fence. The first thing builder fence does is call the function validate builder fence params. Well, that's short for parameters, which is another word for arguments. And I think of, although they are global variables, I think of them as parameters to builder fence, which they would be if MakeCode had parameters for functions or arguments for functions. So builder fence is real simple. It just checks the number of blocks per side to be sure that it's less than it's greater than or equal to 2, and to be sure that and if it's not, like if it's a negative number, then it sets it to 5, which is the default. And if the fence block index, the block has to be 0, 1, or 2. And actually the test here is to be sure that it's not greater than or equal to the length of the array. And in which case it's always set to 0, which is the default. Okay, now back to how builder fence works. Then we call set origin just in case it hasn't been set, because you never know who's called the function, so you have to take care of every case. Now, you know that the function set origin, which I documented in a previous post, the function set origin, it only sets the origin if it has not been previously set, so there's no harm in calling it. Then we teleport the builder to origin, and we have the builder face east because we want the first segment of the fence to be east. And we want the builder to place a mark right there, because eventually once the builder walks around the whole path or moves around the whole path, then we will trace path with the block that constitutes the fence. So then with our 4 sides to the fence, so we repeat this 4 times, and for each of the 4 times the builder moves forward by the number of blocks per side, but it's -1. Because the builder is already standing on 1 block of the fence on that side. So we want to move forward number of blocks per side -1, making the total number of blocks per side. Then the builder turns right and does it again until it's been repeated 4 times. Then the magic happens. When the builder traces path, so the builder has just traveled a path, and the builder traces the path with this block. Well, this block is chosen from the fence choices array, and it's the element of the array is fence block index. So that could be the wooden fence, the rock, or the so on. There. Okay, that is builder fence. Thank you.